Very, very
But I want to hear
competent
from you. I want to know what you think about what is going on in the current real estate space in Nigeria, not just Abuja, in Nigeria. So do you think it is more of problem solving, which is housing, or it has become an investment scheme?
Okay. Well, that's a nice one. I won't be talking based on what I think, but what I know.
Okay.
So I will say, from what I know, that it is meant to be for problem solving, to provide solution. But there is a drift. There is a shift now. We have drifted into the financial aspect of it, not problem solving, so to say, anymore, but for financial gain.
Nigerian government is like a toxic marriage between it and them and the citizens. They have to keep suppressing you so that when the next 2027 is coming out, they will still give you the same promise. I will give you houses, and everybody will say, "Hey," and because you need to say, "Hey." So,
Hey guys, welcome. This is a podcast for those who believe spaces should do more than exist. And on today's episode, we'll be discussing what exactly is real estate becoming. Is it housing or investment? And we have someone who is a real estate expert here in the city of Abuja and has quite a number of amazing projects around the city, Mr. Mona Ati. Welcome, and we're excited to have you on.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll get right into it. And I think I want to start with what I have in mind, the question I have in mind personally. And that question is, what is one, should I call it strange, but what is one thing that you would say led you into this part of construction and real estate? Because I've had conversations with you, and it's not like you went to school saying that, oh, I want to study construction or project management or something. It was, you found that part, right? So, I mean, tell us what is behind you finding this part that you're doing quite amazing at now.
All right, thank you. Simply put, passion. And then beyond passion is an innate quest for a very long time now to see something created out of nothing. And I discovered that the easiest way to translate that into reality is to bet a thing that can stay and give satisfaction to human race, so to say, in the form of building structures, houses, and the likes. Anything buildable that had not existed but can come to be and become functional to the human race. Thank you.
You sound like someone who wrote poems when they were in school, or someone who was really good at literature.
But this is not poetic, I think.
It is actually. It is.
Me, I have a very serious question I want to ask. Everybody
There are
asks about
attitudes.
something, they'll say it's passion. Passion. You didn't study something. So how is that supposed to be? How are you now going to justify the fact that it was about passion and not financial gains? Because
That's a good
I
one.
mean, everybody, okay, we do what we can do, right? But you have to do something to bring food to the table. So how did you know that where you found yourself now was not for
About-
financial gains?
Yeah, chasing the bag. I think
And
I'm
because
with him
sometimes
on
when you
that.
start chasing the bag, it turns to passion already. Whenever you're chasing,
Yeah,
you become
that's
passionate
good.
about it. So yes, so that's something I want to ask.
Okay. I think I'll give little snippets from my trajectory. I think that will suffice.
Yeah.
Well, history, they say most of the times, gives you record of what you did in the past. And that always is a clear evidence of what you have done in the past. I believe fundamentally that the brain is given to us by the giver for use. And I think I've said that so many times in so many forums. Nobody is given the brain to go study a thing to become that thing. The brain is given to you to use. So in the first place, when you activate that part that produces substance, you operate and function above the one who has the best and the highest, maybe scholastic
Degree.
credibility or those stuffs that you can call your profile. You see, you said something that most people will say passion. Yes, how one is operating within a given scope space will tell whether he is driven by passion or financial gain. And I think as we go on, we'll get to that.
Yes.
Is that also?
Yes.
Now, that's why I said my own trajectory. I will speak from that excerpt so that it can. Well, I always want to create something out of nothing and to become functional. Literally.
Yeah.
And one of the places I can give expression to that is in the construction industry. And I have done well along that line in that part, such that I can say or tell you today that if I was driven by financial gain, when I was called there, I wouldn't come. That's one of the simplest answers. I wouldn't come. Because what we're doing here is to, if I understand basically, is to educate, offer solutions, and all that and all that. So if it was for financial gain, I wouldn't even be here in the first place.
Sure.
So you can see that you're inviting me is proof that is actually passion that drove me and not financial gain.
Fair enough.
So if I want to go into other things, I think I may take much of the time.
I think that.
But I have also traded within the sector. Let me not be too theoretical. I speculate, I manage. Let me say we now because I run the company, because I'm not equal to the company. Yeah. We speculate, we manage, we construct, we mediate, and so much more that is unfolding. So, with what we have done so far in the real housing sector and space, there's clear evidence that I can tell you as we go on that we are driven by passion and the ability to create, and not so financial gains. So to say.
Absolutely. I mean, just as you said, having you here is proof that you are driven by passion and not financial gain. Okay, so let's go right into our thing, right? And it says, what exactly is housing becoming? Okay. Is it about financial gain, investment, or real estate? What exactly is real estate becoming? Is it about housing, providing shelter, right? Or just a means to an end, which is to earn money? Because personally, I'm of the opinion that when it comes to real estate and construction in general, right, we are not exactly solving problems. I think of this every single time, and I'm honestly convinced that we're not solving problems. And at the heart of what we do in the industry as architects, as engineers, as project managers, whatever, at the heart of everything, it should be to solve problems, to provide homes that are affordable, not just to build. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I look around and I see that it's a bit difficult for people to afford the houses that are being built every single day. But I'm just going to keep my opinion to myself.
No, it's true.
It's my personal opinion.
That's true. It's very
But I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think about what is going on in the current real estate space in Nigeria, not just Abuja, in Nigeria. So do you think it is more of problem solving, which is housing, or it has become an investment scheme?
Exactly. Well, that's a nice one. I won't be talking based on what I think, but what I know.
Okay.
Yes, is the practice. Okay. I think you also mentioned, you mentioned about social housing. Yes. And that is what it really ought to be if the government is involved and the real essence is being driven. Okay. Basically, what you have asked is whether housing in Nigeria is all driven by financial gain or
meeting a need.
Meeting the needs, so to say, as it stands. Yes, we are saying Nigeria. Nigeria, well, it's bogus, but then we'll be using Abuja as case study.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's be microscopic a little so that we can pick from our immediate environment.
Yes.
Originally, yes, housing to the human race is meant to provide solution. And basically, what is it? To provide shelter, cover over people, not animals. And that's basically what it is. And then what I know, if you go to the traditional Nigerian societies, for example, see the kind of houses we have there, they were basically for shelter. No aesthetics, no drama,
just
nothing.
functionality.
So that's a proof that is the original intention. And from the traditional societies or traditional architecture, you discover that that's the intention and it was real. Yes, because it is opposed to what we have now. So if that sufficed for a period of time until we transcended into this time, and you are now able to confidently ask that, are we really still on that track of financial gain? I think you both answered your questions while you were even asking them. So I will say, from what I know, that it is meant to be for problem solving, to provide solution, but there is a drift. There is a shift now. We have drifted into the financial aspect of it, not problem solving, so to say, anymore, but for financial gain. And that's why we have the problem of housing deficits today, unaffordability. I think that's the right word.
Yes.
Not having access. The average Nigerian does not have access to shelter.
Yeah.
But in the traditional societies, the class system was not as pronounced, as brutal as we are, so it was accessible. So what we have now is being monetized, it's commercialized. Emphasis is no longer on problem solving, the problem of shelter, but on profit making. And that's why we are here, I think.
Okay, there's something that you said that was very instructive, and I don't know if I should say I want to ask, or I want you to digress a bit.
All right.
When you say problem solving, for instance, in the 1980s, the problem they had was they just wanted to put a roof over their head.
That's good.
Currently, the problem I have is not just that I want to put a roof over my head. I want there to be this kind of strip lights. I want POP ceilings. And I think that this trickles down to every sphere of life. For instance, when cars came out first, it was just to move somebody from here to here. Now, somebody wants to drive a 623 miles per hour car in Abuja Road or in Lagos Road. Somebody is actually going to buy it, and he's not even going to use it to the optimal capacity. But he feels like that is a need for him. And I think if there's no need for the kind of houses that we are coming up with, then people will not actually build them. Number one.
Okay.
That is why I think. But I also now think that there is also a shift in the housing sector because of progressive governments that have come in play. For instance, somebody can build a house. I used to see of houses where the POPs are falling and people actually build them to sell. And somebody actually buys them. And then when you compare the price of just building alone to how much the person actually paid, it can be like times 2, times 3 of the house. But then people, if you ask, and this is the question to you as a developer, what are the things that are adding up to make these houses this expensive? Some people can say, if you say profit driven, okay. But I'm also thinking about the fact that governments put so many hurdles for you to even build a house. And even if the money is now high, you cannot really justify it because maybe you have to take a loan. Government did not give you approval. You stay 6 months. And then somebody will come and say, this house is more expensive than it actually is. But they're not factoring in every other challenge that you had to. So my question is, how, as a developer, as somebody that has been in this space, how do you justify somebody selling a house for way below or way above the value, considering the fact that you're thinking about profit and financial, whatever, with what really meeting the needs of housing?
Okay. I think you asked two questions.
Yeah.
Number one, if what we have now is not a need, why then did we do them?
Yeah.
They're actually needs. Of course, human needs, we are evolving. You don't expect us to be at those stone ages. Yes, you will need this kind of light, these effects in the contemporary setup that you call houses.
Yeah.
Because our appetite for luxury goods are expanding as we are being exposed to the global world and all that. Yes, part of the reasons why these things are also skyrocketing. So is a need quite all right. But of what use is a need that cannot be met? And if, for example, I so much desire this as effects in a space that I would like to occupy, and I cannot afford it, are there options?
Yeah.
Do they become very compulsory and necessary that we go to that length, even though it's not going to be as affordable? And why I'm saying this is because I have journeyed in this for some years, I think close to 20 years now. And I see the trend, and I discover that some things are actually unnecessary. That's why we are where we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first building I did in this town was in 2007. 2007. The project began 2007. I don't know if I've showed it to you. Shown it to you. 2006, no, 7, and we completed it in 2008. There were 4 blocks of flats, and I want to believe that the owner is not viewing me.
Disclaimer.
No.
And I can tell you boldly that we, from the start up of work until the finishing, we didn't use up to 8 million naira.
That's
Yeah.
2007.
The house is,
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
4 blocks of flats.
yes, blocks of flat, 2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms each for the 4.
Yes, 4 thing. You understand? We didn't spend up to that to finishing, and the house is standing there. Maybe I'll show it to one of you one of those days. It's standing there. Okay. Now, the house, we observed all building protocols, structurally, architecturally, and government regulation, development control. You know them. Everything was regulated. It's standing there. It's standing when in the part of the town where it is. It's been occupied. I know why I pinned this one. It's been occupied. It's tiled. There's POP. All the things that we have now are there. Something is instructive here. That house was given out at first. The 2 bedrooms was given out at first for 350,000 naira. Without what we call service charge and all the likes that we bamboozle tenants with. 300 to 400,000 naira, something like that. Or 500. I think it was below 500,000 naira. It's 2-bedroom apartment. Today, as I talk to you, this is 2025. It is taken for 4.5 million naira.
It is well.
You
Any changes to
now,
the house?
now,
Any upgrade?
there have not been significant upgrades to the house aside decoration, which is painting
Furnishing.
and the likes. Not furnishing. When you talk of furnishing, you are going deep. It's not a service apartment. So maybe paintings and this thing. It's about 4.5 million. I don't even manage it at the moment. I've relinquished it. You understand? And you can see how that thing has come up over time. Now, what you see there clearly is today's price tag on a house that was done how many years ago?
Almost 20 years
Because of the consistent inflationary trend. We're coming to the government angle. Why these things are the way they are.
Yeah.
So it is like that. When you ask the landlord today, this is an old house, it's been built over time, he will tell you how much is a bag of cement today. That's a trend. You should understand that that's a trend. That's where we are coming from, and that's why we are here today, and we are still going somewhere. Do you understand? So now, if you are to go for a 2-bedrooms apartment today, and there are options around it, which are actually there, you won't go for that particular one. There are other newer ones by the sides there.
Yeah.
And they are tagged for like 5, 6 million naira.
Aside service charge.
Aside service charge and the rest. Do you understand? So the choice is now for you to make which to choose based on your capacity.
We'll go to our village.
With this,
Everybody just pass.
so with this, you can see that we are evolving.
Yeah, so.
I just wanted to say something about if we don't need them, why did we do them? I just ran over. I don't know whether I answered
I
the
understand,
question.
yes.
Hi guys, thanks for following us on this amazing journey. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us across all social media platforms. Thank you so much.
And then the second part of it, you were saying that
The cost, most times building.
most time building cost.
Yes.
Now that transports us from maybe years back to today.
Now, yes.
Now many factors speaks for that. Number one, government policies. Now, in fact, fundamentally, all these is caused by government policies. Instability in government policies, lack of control, we don't have price control, lack of proper regulation, lack of access to land, and government not making, housing and issues about accommodation feasible, visible, accessible, and realistic. That's why we are where we are. I can tell you for free that if government will take its place in the housing sector, I can beat my chest to tell you that the high cost of housing we have today won't be there. It will not be there. Now, let me justify this. You want to get a plot of land in Wuse 2, where we are here now. Am I permitted to call where we are?
Yes, you are.
You can't get anything less than 500 million, I think.
Yes.
I see some listings, 1.2 billion, 3 billion. That's crazy for a plot of land, 1,000 square meter.
Politicians.
Even in the US, it is not so. In the UK, it is not so. It is only in Nigeria you see things like that. 1 billion naira. And I can tell you for free also that if you are to construct a 5-bedrooms duplex on a 1 billion naira, normally you wouldn't spend 100 million naira.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. So how is government regulating the price of these lands that are in the secondary market and in the hands of people you don't know? If we can both assess the how do you call it now, FCDA, to get lands allocated to us, that issue won't be there. You allocate to me, Gwagwalada, I go and build my house there. If it is Jahi, I go build my house there. If it is Gwarimpa, I go build my house there. I won't have any business. If you like, tag your house for 200 million, nobody will price it. Why it is so pricey is because there is no access. And that comes to your introductory note where you say, I'm talking about social house, that's the social thing in it. There's no access. No access. Access is blocked. That's the primary reason why you have neck-breaking prices of accommodation.
So you said something about government stepping in.
Yep.
And we're using Abuja as
Case study.
case
So
study.
let's be microscopic at
Yes.
least. Yeah.
And currently, the Minister of FCT
Yeah.
is, in quotes, stepping in.
Yeah.
In quotes.
Okay.
And it has, will I put it, he has a negative effect because he is doing it, let's say he's going about it the wrong way. And the supposed benefit that was to maybe take lands from wrongful owners, bad structures, and the like, to put a form of structure.
So what we have here.
But now the way he's going about it is giving a negative impact.
Yeah.
So what kind of stepping in are you talking about in terms of the government? In Lagos, Owonshokri is being demolished every day and stepping in and stepping. There's a whole lot. What we see as stepping in for the government is to come and take over. The reallocation that is done is not done fair. It's still a vicious cycle of taking from the poor and giving to the rich. So what kind of stepping in are you talking about?
Okay. The template for doing that for our own government is already on ground. They are on ground. There are institutions that have been put in place even long before our time that are supposed to take care of these things and keep managing them. But I wonder if the work is being done. We have the Federal Ministry of Housing, for example. I think it's in Abuja here.
FHA.
FHA is there. Federal Housing Authority is there. Many housing authorities and schemes are there. The question we'll ask is that if they are there as institutions and they are to provide affordable houses to the masses through whichever means, are those houses there? If they are not there, it means government told us that they were setting up institutions to provide, to look into housing deficit, shelter, and accommodation. And they didn't do it. It's as simple as that. Okay, you vote money every year to those sectors for housing. Yeah. Is that not so?
Yes.
This is Architect Hub, and everything about building and construction is real. That's why we call it real estate. When you give money that such number of houses be built for so persons, and they are not built, to me, that's not housing. We're not talking about anything real estate. It's about paperwork and window display. It's not real. It's a facade. But when you say you are giving money and it translates into structure, we can now say, okay, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing is there. We have about 10,000 units of two bedrooms bungalow in Maraba, in Kubwa, in Gwagwalada, in this thing that is being managed by being built by the government, being managed by the government, maybe collaboration, government, private, public partnership, and is being occupied. They are being used. You can actually see human beings inside. You will say that the government is working to put shelter over the heads of people. You and I will have access to such schemes, either through our places of work, by bets or application or whatever. Just like something that was done in the time of one of the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, right?
Yeah.
That monetization policy that give opportunity to people who couldn't ordinarily have owned houses in Abuja to have houses in Area 1, Geriki, Gwarimpa, and every at, let me say, ridiculous prices.
Yes.
I have a friend who told me that he couldn't afford his own because he didn't have 1 million naira. And it was about that amount of money. Was it Gwarimpa or Kadu also? I can't remember. Do you understand? Senior friend. So what I'm talking about stepping in is government actually providing lands.
Yeah.
What do I mean? Why do I say so? The Nigerian constitution says that all lands belongs to the government. So they are to provide. This is land for affordable housing.
Build.
We're going to be doing this through the Federal Ministry of Works. If there are private individuals who have their monies and they can build for themselves, allocate to them. Let them just pay stamp duty, 50,000 naira. Get your land. Government, regulate the buildings. Make sure that due processes are being followed. That's why development control is there.
Yes.
I've given land to such people to build two bedrooms or 1 bedroom, private individuals who are not government workers. Please, regulate them. Let them build according to standard. Let them not move in and the house collapse on them tomorrow. That's not what we're saying. Then we have the public servant, the civil servant. Every civil servant belongs to a functioning organization, ministries and parastatals. Through their offices, make land and housing schemes available to them based on their levels. Do you understand? It can be on loan basis. It can be on outright purchase basis. It can be on whatever basis are there. These things are done in other countries. And then people will have access. That's the access we're talking about. Access to affordable shelter. And by the time 60% of the Nigerian population have access to this, for example, you can see that the housing deficit and problem and unaffordability is being looked into, is being solved. It will take attention away from having to patronize the few who have the resources to put what you cannot afford.
Yeah.
That's where we are going to. So everything boils down to the government of the day making a conducive environment for access to land or affordable houses or loans or whatever can make people to have access to having their own accommodation. When that is being done, you will not have to go to Gwarimpa to go and look for a house of 3 million naira as a youth copper. Or your annual income for a year or per annum is about 4 million naira. And your annual rent is 2 million naira. You are trading at a loss.
Yes.
Even if your annual income is 5 million and you will have to spend 500,000 naira on accommodation, you are still trading at a loss. So if you are to spread the 4.5 million which is left on transportation, healthcare, feeding, clothing, and the likes, for example, for a year.
Enjoyment as a Nigerian.
And the government of the day has also not regulated prices in those sectors. Your problem is still hydra-headed. It's being compounded.
So,
but before I end it, I would like to say also on this note that no matter what the architects and the engineers do as part of their civic responsibility, because it is the dream and passion of every engineer, everybody in the real estate sector, every architect to see what they have bettered mentally being transformed physically. No matter how you make that effort, if the right environment is still not created, there will be hitches because what you have constructed mentally may not be replicated, may not come to life because the environment is harsh.
Yes. So, this whole talk about the government, right? I was having a conversation with a senior colleague just a few days back, and he said something. We're talking about housing and stuff, and he said something that I don't think I would forget as long as we're still on this social housing issue. And then he said that construction, right, has a ripple effect. And so let me explain.
Okay.
He said that if the government gives more attention to these issues that we have, it would solve so many other issues.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and explain, right?
Yeah.
So he gave example of when they were constructing Gwarimpa, when they were building when FHA were building Gwarimpa, and he said during that construction that there was minimal crime rates because everybody is working. You have a lot. You have jobs. People are working. So nobody who would work throughout the day and in the night have strength to go and commit crime. Not just that. You have businesses thriving. The pure water seller has people to sell pure water to. The person selling coke and bread has people to sell to. The woman who owns a restaurant or mama puts, she has people to buy her food. She's not worried about not having customers because people are working on site every single day, right? So you see that just one thing has solved so many problems. It has solved the issue of unemployment. It has solved crime rates because it reduces automatically. It will help the country's GDP because people can put food on their table because business is booming. You're coming out every day and then you know that you have so and so number of people that would definitely buy your stuff, that would definitely come to your mama put or whatever business you do at that point. But my confusion is, are they not, like, that's the government, because we're talking about the government, right? Are they not seeing these things? Still in the conversation, or still about the conversation with the senior colleague, he told me that because that was during General Sani Abacha's regime, right? So he told me that, do you know that housing scheme, he halted for a bit. And when he halted, he said that after 1 week, the DPO called him and said that, this you people's construction, what is happening? So they were wondering that,
why is the police
concerned DPO with this matter? And he said, he now realized that the crime rate had suddenly increased. People know the jobs that people had, you've taken it away from them, and it's innate in human being. A human being must find a way to survive.
Yeah.
Right? So I think when we discuss about issues like this, it's something that is glaring. It's very obvious. so many of the issues that we complain about, unemployment rate is hiking, is spiking, is whatever it is. People are complaining, your poverty ratio or whatever the percentage is increasing. If you try solving this particular problem or pay attention to solving this particular problem, it would have a ripple effect. You begin to realize that those other problems, those other big problems are solving themselves without you even consciously, putting so much effort in solving them. So for me, it's like, and I'm really thankful for this that we have here, because I think we need to make a lot more noise. Look, the younger generation, we're really suffering from this housing thing. You're 25 years, you're 26 years, and you still have to stay with your parents. Back in the days, our parents, 23 years, they don't even marry. 19. You get, but now it feels like you are being drawn back naturally because of just as you said, environment.
That shouldn't be your own excuse.
No, it's not. But it does feel like you are being drawn back.
Okay.
I mean, it's very common to see on Twitter. I mean, I even make jokes with my friend. It's like once you are born in Nigeria, you come into this world and you are losing like 10-0. You are losing like 10-0 automatically because
you need to reset your.
You have a lot to deal with. You have a lot to deal with, and I pray, I wish that these particular issues can be addressed, because just as you said, there's only so much we can do. As the architect, as the engineer, as the developer, the project manager, whatever position you hold in this industry, right? There's only so much we can do in the talking. The onus is on the government to make lands affordable. I did a study on Vienna, the capital of Austria. And in the whole world, they are number one when it comes to social housing. About 60% of the Vienna population are, what's it called? The
mortgage?
They access social housing over there, and it's incredible. Now, the good thing is, it's not just anyhow housing. No, that's where the architect comes in. It's like, as an architect, if you are given that kind of opportunity, it's like, finally, I can think, I can
express yourself.
I can express myself. I can come up with insane concepts on how people can live communally. People can, because as Nigerians, we're very communal people, right? We're very communal people. We watch football together. We do a lot of things, celebrate birthdays together. We're not built naturally to be on our own. So it's an opportunity for the architect to express himself.
That's true.
The psychology of these people. How do I build to the psychology of these people? And I really wish we get to a point where we can explore this different model. Singapore is another example. They have very small, land, but they build vertically. I was talking with my senior colleague, and he was in Singapore not too long ago.
Utilize the airspace.
Yes, he was in Singapore not too long ago. Do you know what he told me? He told me that they brought down a 25-story building. They brought it down to build 50. Because the 25-story building was a problem. It doesn't work for Here in Abuja, the most you can have is 19 or so. If 19, we cannot build vertically.
We have land, sir.
And we have land. We have land. We're not like them.
It's not even our problem.
It's not our problem. So you now begin to wonder what exactly is the problem. As an architect, I'm coming out of school and there's limitation. You cannot properly express yourself. I was in a meeting, an online meeting, Let's Talk Design. Very amazing guys coming together. Same initiative they have with us here, just to put things out about design and architecture. And we're talking about I can't really remember how the conversation went, but it was similar stuff on how we can actually change these things, on how you come out of school and you don't know, as an architect, you don't exactly know what is possible because you cannot see your environment. But you see people that are outside, right? When you're having conversations, they have insane possibilities. They know what is possible. The environment, now you don't know what is possible. You're used to bungalows.
I can tell you what is possible, yeah.
You can tell me what is possible.
Yes, sir.
But really,
we have duplexes.
The world has gone way past that.
So that's what
way past that. And I think we need to catch up. We really, really, really need to catch up. Hi, guys. If you're here, you're obviously enjoying our content. Kindly like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow us on all social media platforms. if you're enjoying our content, which obviously I know you are. Thank you very much.
What can we do about the government?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think the government is the problem. As everybody have said,
Shots fired.
that is just because I actually feel like they know what to do. If you go to Zuba, there's Federal Housing Authority in Zuba. I don't know if anybody knows about it. Because as of 2018, a relative of mine was building there. Like, he got a government job to build. I think it was 4-story building of 2-bedroom each, and there are over 100 of them. If you go to that Zuba, what's it called? That mechanic place, you see red roofs. There are about 100 building there. So I know that the government know what to do, and they are doing another one in Buhari, like the end of Buhari after law school. It's over 100 also. The same kind of building. They have terraces there. And I think that those are the kind of things you do to open up communities. When you build something like that now, people want to go there. You put there's roads, there's lights, all of those things. They know what to do. But they are not doing it. Because they want us to remain poor and keep looking up to them. Yes. Because if they feel like they are so, I don't know if I should say they are so insecure. They feel like it's just like a man marrying a woman and not empowering her, because it feels like if I empower this lady,
A Nigerian man.
you understand?
I've never
So
actually
I
looked
think
at
that's
it
how
in
they
that
are,
dimension.
because they feel like if I give this person house, what will I promise her the next time, or what will I promise her the next
So
time?
the Nigerian government.
Do you understand?
is like
So they are looking at
insecure, man.
Nigerian government is like a toxic marriage between
It
and them and the citizens. They have to keep suppressing you, so that when the next 2027 is coming now, they will still give you the same promise. I will give you houses, and everybody will say, "Hey," and because you need house, say, "Hey."
It's a toxic
So
relationship.
it's a toxic relationship, and I don't know. We just have to. There has to be something done, and we are just raising awareness to people. If you are a young person, you have. I think anybody that's like 25, you probably have like 50 more years to live. Do you want to live your
Never
50
can.
years?
Our life
Expectancy
expectancy is lower than
is
that.
60,
It's not even up to that. It's like 52, 55.
No,
I saw
you
recently.
know something. We believe in God very well. Yeah, so let's.
You'll be shocked that it's around 45.
I'm telling you, life expectancy rate in Nigeria has dropped significantly. It's crazy.
Okay, let's just say 60. You probably have like 35 more years to
35
live.
years to live.
Do you want to live 35 more years in this kind of Nigeria? Because just like our boss here said, he said before he built something of 10 million naira. Now people were renting for 350, and now it's 4.5. And he said something. He said, and we are still going somewhere.
we are going up.
Meaning, say,
I'm just
expect
we are
yes,
going up.
because I imagine that as of 2025, if
Don't do that.
land is
Don't do that
1.5
calculation.
billion.
Don't do that calculation.
what will land be in 2030?
oh,
Because I know there's a popular house in Maitama, close to Transcorp, opposite Transcorp.
yeah,
I think I saw it in the markets for 30 billion.
And there's really nothing in that house.
Okay, maybe the person. There are so many. Nigeria there are so many factors, right, that make the houses expensive. I don't know about
The
that, but
location.
location, all those
Yeah,
things.
location, obviously.
But if a house is 30 billion as of now, I don't know the most expensive house in the UK.
It's
And-
been listed.
Like 30
These are the
billion.
things we list in Nigeria.
Because yes,
So that's a
30
problem.
billion naira is a manufacturing company's worth.
It's insane. It's really
In
insane.
fact, that thing is what somebody sang about, because I think there's a popular musician that said 30 billion their accounts.
That's the house.
Yes. So it's just one house that is even singing about all the songs that he has been singing about. It's just one
One
house.
house.
There's a lot that the government needs to do. And as a young person, you should not just sit back
Nah, we
and
need
say,
we need
you
to
have
move
to
on
say
from it.
something.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
our parents, they've lived their lives, they've lived everything, they have all the houses. When you get to 40, you realize, oh, more, you see the rent. 50, voila. So,
And then you would want
And you would want
give
to.
stuff to your own children, you know.
in fact, I saw something. They say this is the first set of uncles.
Everything is in order. You will not need to have to give something to your children.
We're not even
Because
talking
they
about
will
giving.
They will
Working
have.
society,
True.
absolutely.
Yes, but there's something I saw. It was a meme that said, this is the first set of uncles and aunties without hectares of land. When we were growing up, all our uncles and aunties, all of them had land. They had, but every young man here, the only thing you have to yourself is the 1.5 million naira rent that you're paying every year.
And your big phone.
and your big
why-
phone.
Your big iPhone.
There's a lot. I think we need to
survival mode.
think critically about all of these things.
Yeah.
So I really learned a lot from
Absolutely.
actually.
We are
yeah.
learning together.
It was an amazing conversation.
Yes.
We loved having you around.
There's much the architects can do, actually.
Yes. We know that. And that's why we started
Much
this.
the architects and engineers can do, actually.
Yes.
Architects, so to say.
Yes.
Precisely. Yes. There's no point when you are trained for something you cannot express
Yes.
that training because the environment does not give room for it.
Yeah.
So you don't just speak, you take action.
Mm.
Because as architects, conventionally, or how do I call it now, you are in the real sector. And the real sector is real. Just putting blocks on blocks, putting pen on paper, everything about it is practical. So there should be a voice that can call out from the desert and say, we are here, we can do something. Let's get to the point where we just ask the government for just land.
Yes.
I think that's where everything should be driven to. Since we're
Absolutely.
talking of housing.
Yeah,
Let's
just
get to the
provide
point
land.
where we
That's the
say,
Vienna model
forget
also.
about the materials.
Anything.
Yeah.
Forget about
Provide the lands.
the cost of construction. Just
We'll cater to that.
give us access. And so because we are not driven by profits, we'll now do a real thing that will translate into real structures that can be really occupied
Yeah.
That's solve
at
problem.
affordable rate. By that, you are breaking the ankles of monopoly in that sector already. The most visible problem we have most of the times is funding.
Yeah.
When we have gotten land, how do we go about it? The same way we got land, that's the same way we can actually get funding.
Funding.
You went to government, you say, give me land back. Okay, I'm bringing the land back as collateral. Give me loan.
Yeah.
There are crazy ways to do
yeah.
these things. So we're asking government now, give us land. Will you give us give us a CTC, completely certified land in our name? We're 7 architects, we're 8 architects, we're 9 engineers. Give us land in our name. Then take the paper and give us loan. Yeah, because the environment must be created. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So it's just to begin to think out of the
Outside
box
the box.
since the government doesn't want to think.
Think for
Since they are thinking within the box they've been thinking in is how to keep reproducing those who owns, who have access.
Yeah.
So that those who do not have access will continually be dependent on them. And by so doing, see, if you want to push somebody into servitude, you just manipulate the economy around him. That's all. Is that not so? If I want to make you my slave, I'll manipulate the economy around you. Even those I know can help you, I'll buy them. Manipulate them. So what they just do practically is keep us in servitude, manipulate the economy. So that's actually not a smart move. It is a primitive thing there.
Yeah.
It's insecurity. So
Insecurity.
the masses will come and become like us one day. So we must not give them house. So they are thinking within the box. And that idea is just one. It's not even a wise idea. So when we think out of the box and say, okay, we'll see how we can transact with them. At the end of the day, government will come to patronize Architect Hub.
Hi guys, thank you for watching the video up until this moment. We just want to take a moment to educate you on the importance of you subscribing to this video right here. Helps us to reach a larger community and a larger audience. So please do subscribe, like, share, comment on anything, whatever it is. You can even reach out to us. We have a whole lot you can discuss with us on this video. Let's dive right into the video. Thank you. And it's just before we go, there's some sounds add also because I know the government has majority of the blame, but also as individuals, I think as a side thinking outside the box, there's a story ahead. The government actually gave somebody land to go into mass housing. They are going to mass housing now. The person decided to cut the line to plots and started to sell them. And so, like, the problem is a lot.
Yeah.
But that kind of thing will not happen if there was proper regulatory agency.
That's
obviously.
exactly what.
So it still falls back to proper government and leadership.
Yes.
So-
It's still the same thing. It's no matter how you beat it, will come back
Still
to
come
the
back
same
to
thing,
government.
same thing. So if you ask for land for mass housing, what you have said invariably is that give me land, I will develop.
Yes.
I'll make this thing affordable. But he still goes to petition and
And
sell.
sell.
High. So that's his own passion. That's not passion anymore.
That's not passion,
That's
yeah.
profit.
That's profit.
So that's the difference between me and those people.
Yeah.
And me, I'm driven by
So government, you have
service
somebody that's driven by
rendering.
passion.
Service rendering.
Okay.
We presented bills somewhere now,
Yes, sir.
and I won't mention the amount now. Partially, you were part of that project, and yes, because I think you did the design.
Oh, okay.
And some other persons came with bills that were almost times 2 of my own. You know, at some point, so when it was to a private firm, and when the whole drama began, when I knew what I did, I just went and sat down. I didn't lobby anybody. So I just went and sat down. People brought their bill and everything. At the end of the day, they took style and found a way to come back to me. You understand? By so doing, I've contributed my own.
Your own quota.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we should also be ready to contribute our quota.
Yes, sir.
That is not necessarily driven by financial gain. By so doing, we'll be able to break into that.
Field.
How do you call it now?
Break the jugular.
Break the jugular, break into that cycle, so that we can.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate it.
So welcome. Thank you.
Really grateful, and thank you for showing up for us and proving to us that you're really passionate about this thing that you do. We appreciate, and hopefully we'll have him around sometime.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
We'll have you again sometime.
In the studio, and on the field.
Yes, absolutely. And
You're all my bosses, so I always respect.
Wow. I reject that for now.
Better don't reject it.
so thank you very much, sir. We had
Welcome.
such an amazing conversation. Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me.
So, guys, thank you for joining the conversation, and hope to see you guys next time.
Yeah. Ciao.